All right, guys. So I know that I'm live at a really inconvenient time for a lot of you, and I'm sorry about that. But I have had an extremely lazy weekend, and I didn't want it to end, so I waited as long as I could before I had to do the work. And the work is to do the very last tag video, the worst K-pop styling tag. Now, I want to preface this by saying I don't do a lot of fancy editing stuff. You've seen me try to do it, it just doesn't work out. And so I wanted to pick examples of the worst K-pop styling to me that were in my collection. And there's a lot worse styling out there for sure. There may even be worse styling in my collection, but these are the things that off the top of my head really stood out. Good morning. But yeah, I wanted to show what I consider to be some of the worst K-pop styling because K-pop, I would say in the 2006 to 2012 range, it was just a bad time for all pop styling, to be quite honest with you. It was a time when a lot of really crazy clothes were going popular in the United States, and there was this trend in like the early 2000s up until about 2010 where it was wear all of the clothes all the time. So you would see a girl out in a pair of leggings with a skirt over it, with a big chunky belt, with a t-shirt, with a camisole over that, with a scarf around her neck, wearing a pair of leg warmers and some Ugg boots. And that was fashion. So for a lot of K-pop, it was emulating that same thing of like doing the most. And so it's kind of unfair because you think about the fact that, time has passed and at the time these clothes were really cool, but now it's just like that's very outdated. But I tried to pick examples that not only were the clothes just crazy for nowadays, but crazy for that time as well. And that's why we're starting off with my bias group, SHINee. So I just want to say, before anybody says anything, obviously the channel is Shawwall 360. I am a huge Shawwall. They are the most important group to me. I love them dearly. But the Romeo photo book has some of the wildest clothing I've ever seen. And even at that time, you can't tell me that what they're wearing is fashionable. I haven't even flipped through the photo book, but you can tell from looking at it, we're in for some treats. Let's start with what everyone's wearing. So the little pins that you're seeing in the picture, those are all bugs, bug pins, spiders, cockroaches, butterflies, the like. Then they've got these specialty sunglasses, which are made by just taking everything you could find at a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's, a craft shop, and just throwing the glue gun at the glasses and then throwing all the junk on top of the glue. Also, Minho has got a beautiful pair of very stylish cowboy boots along with the rest of SHINee. Fashion. I think Taemin is wearing a gold lame cape. Fashion again. And pay very close attention to this shirt that Minho is wearing, this one with his shoulders out. Yeah, that is a shirt that had open shoulders, but instead of leaving the shoulders open, they just put his arm through the shoulder hole and said, this is a look. So let's get into the photo book so you can get a little bit more of what I'm talking about here. So more of the cover fashion. Wow, those bug pins really creep me out. I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. Taemin, as he was slowly developing, this is when puberty hit him super hard. This is, okay, so see what I'm talking about? It's a long sleeve here with an open shoulder, and then they just pushed his arm through the shoulder and said, that's the look. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Key, of course, making the best of a bad time. It gets better though, y'all. All right, so this is my favorite part of this being the worst styling. Someone on their styling team said, we do a lot of hair extensions for a lot of our girl groups and they wear it one time and they never wear it again. If only I could find a way to take that hair and make it something couture, make it something editorial, make it something fashion. So they decided to make hair necklaces for SHINee. You can see the hair necklace that Key is wearing, and even Key's like, I'm sorry, I cannot make this hair necklace work. Hello. But yeah, Jonghyun's like, I'm having a great time with this hair necklace. This is everything I've ever wanted in life. This is fashion. But yeah, Onu, I don't know how he managed to convince them that he wasn't wearing no damn hair necklace. But you can see Taemin, again, trying to make it fashion, trying to make it editorial. Little did he know in the next comeback, that would be the hair he would be wearing. And then you can see Key again, trying to make it editorial, trying to make it fashion. But again, it don't work. You can't make sense out of nonsense. Hey, Anthony. And yeah, Jonghyun with his beautiful purple extensions and reconsidering the choices he's made in life. Why did he decide to do this? This wasn't what God intended for him. But yeah, this is by far my favorite photo book for just unreasonable, outlandish, shiny fashion. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's a good time to be had by all. But yeah, I had to start out with the faves because a lot of people will probably get mad and be like, oh, don't make fun of my band. You're just a hater. Listen, if I can make fun of my faves, I feel like I have license to make fun of yours as well. Also, this is all done in good fun. None of this is done like, oh, they're trash or whatever. You have to understand, for 99% of the time, your idols are being styled by somebody who is paid to just do something that catches attention. So your idols don't have any say in what they're wearing, how they're styling, except for SHINee, because Key does a lot of fashion choices for SHINee. But for the most part, the companies will link up with certain designers, and the designers will agree to make clothing for the group, and that's how they end up with what they're wearing. Or there's a big trend at the time, and maybe a stylist is like, hey, I can get you access to designer versions of clothes for a photo shoot, and that's how it ends up being what it is. So I would say 99.9% of the time, the styling has nothing to do with the personal opinions of idols, but it is what it is. And so that's what this video is about. We're just going to go ahead and tease the fuck out of these people. Next, we have BTS. And I'm bringing out BTS because for the majority of BTS's career, I've been okay with what they wear. There were a couple of questionable looks in the Love Yourself Answer photo book series, but even those, high fashion, editorial, everybody's got to do it at some point. And it would have been really easy to pull those out and be like, this is the example of their terrible styling. But this, I feel like, is a more accurate example of terrible styling because this was so try hard. And for that reason alone, it is terrible styling. So this is BTS's Too Cool for School, is their first release. And this is early BTS doing their best to be hardcore. And thinking about who they are now, especially like knowing their personalities and stuff, it's like, come on, that's not you. That's not you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Dude, come on. So yeah, this is early BTS in their clothing choices. And there's one high-key bad moment I needed to stress here. Namjoon's hair. Hair is a lot of the worst styling choices that idols make, whether it is idols in dreadlocks, it is idols with mohawks. A million choices you can make out there for bad styling, but Rapmon, early Rapmon, has some of the most notable bad hair choices an idol could have. And then one day he discovered blonde and he's never turned his back since. But this mohawk, which is not even like skinny enough or not wide enough, like something's wrong with the dimension and all the cuts on the side, is just, it looks like a broom. It looks like a broom. And I know now he would probably never go out the house with something like that, but it's just hilarious to me to see it in hindsight because, yeah, no, not at all. No, no, no. And then also Jimin in his street gear is hilarious to me too because he's a big old mochi, so it's just like, why are you even trying? And the baby trying to be hard. This is what, a 16, 17-year-old? I don't buy it. You're not gangsters. But yeah, another example of just, you know, the bad styling is the fact that they're trying too hard to give off this I'm a thug look when really it's just you could tell that they're little kids playing dress up. And so it would have been nice to have them in something that's more genuine. And I think definitely once they got further into the school series, their clothing more matched the sound that they were going for, the vibe they were going for, and things had been pretty much in sync since then. Another example of some terrible hair can be found here with GD Top. I love blonde top. And I feel really bad including this when I'm talking about bad styling because blonde top is the bias. Blonde top can get it. Like everything about blonde slash gray top is perfect and wonderful, and I'm here all the way for it. But during this particular comeback slash promotion cycle, GD made a bold hair choice that I have to bring to your attention. So this is Hi Hi. This is one of their special editions. It's not in the best condition as you can see. It's pretty raggedy. Actually, I need to get another one. But it is what it is. It's part of my collection, and I paid a lot of money for it. So I'm not about to get a new one anytime soon unless I find it for super cheap. But this was their kind of, we're totally doing our bad boy thing, but still fashion. Because when you're talking about GD, fashion is involved. GD decided that, you know, if Top's going to do something wild and crazy with his hair, I'm going to do something wild and crazy with mine. And GD goes for a perm. I guess he's like, you know, my natural hair doesn't grow coarse enough for me to have a high top fade. So I'm going to put something on my hair to give me a high top fade. And that was the decision behind this back here. What in the blue blazes? Who wrote off that? Who was the one at YG who's like, you know what would really work for this comeback? Both of them need pompadours, but one of those pompadours needs to be permed. So that's the reason why this photo book probably has so many hats in it, because they were like, we've done something terrible. We cannot tell anybody about this. But you can see like a wisp of the permy hair here. Just a smattering of it. Yeah, it is a terrible look. It is a terrible look. Oh my gosh. It's fucking awful. But, you know, thanks to GD's perm, that's why you have Rap Mom saying, you know what? A perm is another way of expressing my love for urban culture. But look at this. Look at this hair. What? I've never seen anybody part their high top down the middle and be like, yes, that is a look. Ugh. And I love GD Top collaborations. They're some of my favorite songs in the entire Big Bang discography, but this was a fashion time. Ugh, got a couple little Polaroids here, or I don't know what you call these, promotional pictures, whatever. In this one, the high top is a slope. What? I mean, thank goodness that Top was saving us all. Top with the smoldering blonde. And you know, now that I look at this, I have to say, Rap Mom must really love GD and Top, because he's had both of those hairstyles. He's had the high top perm, and he's done the blonde for a long time. So, yeah, you know, a successful fanboy for sure. But yeah, wow. Wow. But you know, what can we expect from YG when it comes to styling when they spent years punishing the next group? Now, I don't have some of the best examples of their bad fashion in their discography because, let's be honest, their discography is short. But you just need to do a quick internet search and you'll see all the bad fashion, especially if you type in Sandara. But we've got this, To Anyone, and they had to be the preeminent fashion victims in all of K-pop. I don't know why YG hated them so much, but going through this book, you're going to see some clothes here that don't seem that bad in theory. Like this Minji outfit, not that bad at all. But there are some other things that just stand out as being poor choices altogether. This outfit right here, what are we doing? We've got see-through, we've got jacket. I don't know, but it is what it is. Let's go a little bit further. This is probably the nicest that YG has ever been to Dara's hair. She's got like some Bantu knots or something up here. But this was the era where Dara was wearing the pineapple hair, which was a long, upright, foot-long ponytail with a small wisp of hair at the end. I think the next comeback, which doesn't have photographs in the photo book, is when we had Dara wearing the what is it? The snow cone hair, where she had the two ice cream cones on the side of her head. I mean, just this era, they picked the best pictures they could for the photo book, but my God, to anyone really, they should have filed a class action lawsuit against YG stylists. What is this? What is this outfit? Where are we going in this thing? We are a lightning. We are a superhero. We are an astronaut. What are we? Are we a robot? What are we doing? What are we doing? Again, this is not so bad. This is, again, probably the nicest they've been to Dara. It just got worse from here. It just got supremely worse. And this is actually not a bad look. I think it's a little matchy-matchy, matching the top with the bottoms, with the cape, with the walls. You probably could have toned down on a little bit of the matching there, but not bad. Not bad at all. What is this? What is this bird? What is this bird look? What are we doing here? What? I don't even know. I don't even know. They were really tight with Jerry Scott at the time. So maybe that's why they were like, these looks are all classics. But hindsight being 2020, I think some other decisions could have been made. Yeah, I think some other decisions could have been made. Oh my gosh. I don't, what are, what, just let's sigh. Let's sigh. I don't understand. This is actually not a bad ponytail underclothes thing. This jacket I have questions about, but again, they have had much worse. And Minji actually looks really good here. For her being a teenager, I think they were limited as to how sexy they could let things get for her. I think they made some good choices here. Things got a lot worse for Minji as time went on. A lot worse for her as time went on. But yeah, early 21 is rough stuff. So definitely look it up if you want some more examples of the worst of the worst. But yeah, if YG would do that to anyone, we shouldn't be surprised that GD would end up with a high top perm. Next, one of my favorites of the second gens. And this era it's fun for me because it's so very terrible, but it's terrible in the most delightful ways. This is 2 p.m. Hottest Time of the Day, their first single, and this was 2 p.m. back when they still had Jay Park, and it's just all of the terrible things that early 2000s was. It was clothing printed to look like it was tattoos. It was various gloves and other arm accessories that had no need at all. It was wearing a vest with no shirt while wearing the biggest pants you can think of. It was every pair of pants you wear have some sort of distressing or pattern or something that's just not normal. It is tan. And tan's not a fashion mistake at all. Don't get me wrong. But it was like the aggressive tan at the time. And just, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of layers that don't make any sense. You see Junkei's here got like a tank top, a vest, and maybe a jacket as well. But the person next to him's wearing a tank top. Chansung, Junkei, how are y'all in the same room? One of you is either baking or one of you is freezing. And then, of course, the sleeveless hoodie look with the hood up. Yes, absolutely. 100% we must do that. So yeah. I love 2 p.m. I think they're awesome. But the styling here is incredibly weird. And I find it to be very funny because this was a time when Jay Park didn't have any tattoos and they were giving him fake tattoos to look cool. Now this dude is smothered in tattoos, like head to toe covered in tattoos. And he has to get them like makeup in order for him to show up on music shows and show me the money and stuff like that. So I find it very ironic. But what is this thing? Is he going to be in a knife fight later on and he's going to need a guard for his arm so he can block the blade? What is that? Why are we doing that? It looks like he's got like a fanny pack here, but no shirt. Gloves, but no shirt. So are you cold? Are you hot? What is this? We've got dog tag sitting over here on Wooyoung. I mean, I get it. It's fashion. It's fashion. But it's a little jangly, a little loud, and it looks like they spent so much time worrying about his dog tags that they couldn't find an adequate belt, and now he is forced to hold up his own pants. June K again, rocking the multiple layers, the tank top, the vest, the blazer. Yeah, even Juno's, what are you wearing, dude? Like, seriously, do you want me to take one of these chains off my neck and you could wrap it around your waist? Are your pants really falling off right now? Yeah, it's just this was a great time. This was a great time in K-pop. Wearing all the things. And oh, I was mistaken. I said that Taekyon was wearing a tank hoodie. No, he's wearing a tank top and just the hood of a hoodie. Where do you even get just the hood of a hoodie? Where? What store do you go to where they sell just the hood of a hoodie? At least we can all get behind this. I think we all can agree that this is a look that has stood the test of time, has not gone out of style. This will always be in fashion. Thank goodness for some of the classics. Let's sigh. We should have known he was a bad boy. Oh, and also, how come people don't jump in their pictures anymore? Like, seriously, you see all the jumping here? Like, this was a thing in photography to be like, get a pose, but jump, and then we'll catch it while you're in the air. I never see people really do that anymore. Why'd we give that up? You know, I know that it belongs at a certain time and place, but I didn't think it was super tacky. It was just different. But yeah, we should definitely bring that back. That would have been cool. But yeah, 2 p.m., you are a treasure. This is a cherished time. Thank you for putting this in permanence. Thank you for making sure this can be a fashion moment that we never, ever forget. All right, next is another group that has had some fashion moments, and it's Block B. Now, I feel bad because I really don't own a lot of Block B stuff, so I didn't get to show some of their worst looks, to be quite honest with you. But I just kind of wanted to mention their name because when it comes to Block B, they've gone through it. They really have gone through it. Zico has had dreadlocks, he's had mohawks, he's had perms, he's had almost every color of hair. The clothing options they've had have been something tragic. And it's really weird to me because when you look at like early Block B, it didn't have to be that way. It didn't have to be that way. I'm holding here Welcome to the Block, which is the repackage of their first release. And you guys know I always take the CDs out, so it is what it is. But yeah, look at these babies. They don't look that bad. Something that you can look back later on. You can be like, all right, that'll work. Yeah, there has been a lot of changes since then. First of all, this person right here, Taeil, can we talk about the tattoos? And this is something where actually looking back on it, it's like, I kind of like this dude right here. Whereas now Taeil has got tattoos everywhere. Everywhere? Everywhere. He was on a show, I believe it was this summer or in the spring. It was a show named The Call. And it was really cool to see him because he hasn't been doing a lot of television appearances. So it was really cool to see him on a show where he's regularly singing and people can really feel his talent. But I remember I saw it online and I immediately said to Jada, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. Because there were no tattoos on his neck, no tattoos on his arm. And I'm like, am I missing something? Like, what happened? They had put him in like the thickest of layered makeup. Like whoever did the makeup job for that, they worked their tail off because they practically made it look like his skin had been erased with like an eraser. But yeah, he has a bat on his neck, a gorilla on the back of his neck. So he's got a bat on his throat, a gorilla on the back of his neck, and he's got tattoos all the way down to his fingernails. So it's actually really funny to see this Block B because there have been a lot of changes made since then. So this isn't really the best example of bad K-pop styling. It's more like the calm before the storm. It's more like, so this is what we had to work with, and then all hell broke loose. So that's why I wanted to talk about that here. Now this is styling from a group that I don't think that when you see this, you're going to think the styling is all that bad. But the reason why the styling is bad to me is because for me, It's so extremely out of character for this group. And it's Sistar Shady Girl. So this Sistar, I don't know these girls. I have no idea who this is. Hyolyn as a short bobbed blonde, no. Dasam as a flip haired blonde, no. This cutesy, we're just so saccharine and sweet and old fashioned look, absolutely not. I cannot believe that this is the same group that ended up talking about Touch My Body and Shake It For Me. Like, there's just no way. And so I always like to look back on this because it just goes to show, like, until you know who you are, success cannot be achieved. This wasn't a bad comeback for them in terms of music-wise. There were still some gems here, but fashion-wise, no. No with a capital N and a capital O. I can't. Who is this? Who is this? I know a Hyolyn, but who is this? This is not what I signed up for. So yeah, I just like to show this to show, like, sometimes the worst K-pop styling isn't necessarily something that's bad looking. Like, there's nothing wrong with these socks and this sweater. There's nothing wrong with the hoodie and the flip-flops. I mean, those flip-flops are kind of ugly, but there's nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with it is that this is not the Sistar that I know. And that's what's wrong with this. This is not my Sistar. And so that is some of the worst styling because it absolutely is the opposite of the group that I love and I know. All right, and it looks like we have only 2 more left. This one is it's a time capsule. It's bad because it's bad. So it's this, which is Rain, Eternal Rain. So when you've been in the business as long as Rain has, Rain's been in the entertainment business now for over a couple of decades. He's been a K-pop star for probably, 15 years? It's been a long time. In that long of a time, of course you're going to have some hits and misses. It's part and parcel of what you're doing as an idol. But this right here is an example of a time in fashion when it was just like, you know what? Let's just try anything. Let's just, you know what? Fashion rules out the window. Whatever we think might work, we're just going to throw it on you and make it happen because you're hot enough to sell it. And somebody told Rain he was hot enough to sell these fashions, and I'm here to tell you now, ain't nobody that fucking hot. So this is Rain's Eternal Rain. This was his first full-length Japanese album, I believe. And we're already starting off on a bad foot. We've got baggy pants and the tightest, smallest shirt we could find. So tight we couldn't even button it up all the way because it wasn't going to work. You can see how tight it is on the arms. I don't know where this shirt came from, but it don't work. Then we have an advertisement where Rain's wearing something that, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But ho, baby, the fashion gets worse. What is this? Like, seriously, what is this? I've been looking at this picture now for quite a while, and I still don't know what the hell he is wearing. Are these overalls? Are they? Because they don't look like overalls, because I don't see any little things hanging from them. What are these pants? What is going on here with this blouse? These look like worker pants. These look like CEO/gigolo shirt. These styles don't go together. Who picked this out? What is this about? Who did this? Then here we are in our tightest of lacy lace shirts. Again, too small to button all the way. You see this gap. This is not a sexy gap. This is the fabric won't close across my back gap. That's what that is. Again, who did this? Who did this to Rain? He deserves better than that. Gonna go down a little bit more. Here we are again in our gigolo outfit. And again, are his pants open? Is the crotch open? Like, is the flap supposed to be closed? I don't know. And I think the reason why they have him sitting in the chair is because if he was to stand up, maybe these pants would just fall to the ground. I have no idea what they're doing here. But you know what? When you've been in the public eye as long as Rain has, you've worn all the clothes. You've worn all the clothes, so you're just like, it's okay. I'm sure next year I'll be wearing something else. And then the pants are dirty. They've been dirtied up as if a man who wears a blouse is doing any kind of hard labor to have dirty clothes. So these are like dirty clothes that he paid somebody to dirty. None of this makes sense. Okay, so let's just say we were trying to craft a story from this outfit and this scenery. Here we have this extremely ornate antique bench. We have a background that looks like a house that has been left to be dilapidated because the walls are dirty and dark and crusty. We have a man wearing a blouse that is too tight, as well as a pair of pants that are filthy and dirty, and what look to be kind of dirty shoes. Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. I think he's a homeless person who has broken into an old mansion and has somehow gotten into the closet and found the blouses of the former mistress of the mansion. And because the shirt he had on was dirty and filthy, but he couldn't fit into her pants, he decided to wear her blouse and leave on his homeless man pants. That's my guess for what's going on in this picture. But yeah, I love Rain. I love Rain. Most of his looks I'm here for, but there's just nothing makes sense in this photo book, so I needed to make sure I share that. Now I have one last album I'm going to show you guys, and this is a more modern twist on worst K-pop styling, because I think we can all agree, you know, there's nothing wrong with your classic t-shirt and jeans. You know, maybe if you're trying to portray a hip-hop or an urban look, a baggy pant, a loose shirt, loose t-shirt, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe even a sweatband or a wrist sweatband. Yeah. This is what happens when you're doing too much. When you're doing too much, when you're doing everything, when you just need to stop. This is Limitless by NCT 127. And if there's anything we can appreciate about this, it is the fact that they did not decide to bring these looks with them when they came to America. Because had they done that, we would have all had to act like we didn't know who they were. Because we can't acknowledge this travesty as being a part of our community. So already, this is like bad packaging. Like everybody knows it. It's just the packaging is fragile. It's all warped up because it's like overloaded with crap. But yeah, I mean, that I think the packaging more than anything is emblematic of the problem with the styling for this album. It's just too fucking much. You know, they say that Coco Chanel said that when you walk out the house, that you should look yourself in the mirror and you should take off at least 2 accessories before you leave the house. Just so you know you're not wearing too much. I feel like Limitless, this was where they should have looked in the mirror and they should have taken off at least 2 pieces of clothing and maybe washed their hair before they left the house, because there's just too much going on here. There's too much going on here. So let's go ahead and open this up and get an idea of what we're working with. And there's so much in here. There's so much in here. I'm exhausted already and I haven't even done anything, but I hate pulling all this crap out. So these are the cards that come with the album, because again, you've got to do the absolute most. So you've got the cards held together by a trainer. I'm going to take this off of here, even though I hate doing this. Because I'm going to have to get this back on. All right, so let's just go one by one and just start taking off things. Let's do the Coco Chanel test and just take off something that would make this outfit passable. Let's start here. You, sir, have on too many necklaces. You could take off one. You also have on too many shirts. Take off one. You'll be fine. You, sir, you know what? I don't have a problem with the hat, but you seem to be wearing, again, 3 or 4 shirts. Please take off a shirt. Please take off a couple of necklaces. You'll be okay. You, sir, you've got on a blazer with a tracksuit, with necklaces, with, I don't know what this hair is, to be quite honest with you. Is this anime hair? I don't know. I recommend you wash your hair. I recommend you either take off the tracksuit or take off the blazer. One of the two. You can't have both. Mark, we have to talk about this. I'm going to let you keep the hat if you'll just like completely cover all the hair with the hat. Like stuff all the hair in the hat, you'll be fine. Damn, I don't... You know, if your hair didn't look like that, you wouldn't need the sweatband. So I would say to take off the sweatband and take the hair and do something completely different, because that's what's going on here. It's just a little too much. This one, you know what? All I can see is your hat. I'm going to say you're fine. This hair, it's purple and there's a sweatband. But other than that, the styling isn't terrible. I'll go with that. You, sir, with the dreads. No. Just no. This is the only thing I have. Just no. Just no. Take that as the answer. Just no. And then, Johnny, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You have too many necklaces on. You look, you have a hockey jersey over a couple of shirts. I think you should take one off or the other. But you know what? You look like you're having a bad day. I'm going to leave you alone. So these are some close-ups again of just the worst K-pop styling in I would say the last 3 years. This is the worst K-pop styling. The only K-pop styling that's any worse than this that I could think of is Six Bomb with their bubblegum pink jumpsuits, bodysuits. Those were pretty fucking terrible. But yeah, this should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to take really beautiful kids and do this to them. He's got a leopard print jacket. He's got a American flag hat, and then he's got like a diamond jersey and a winged woman necklace. There's just too much going on here. Okay, again, I think Mark realizes that there were some hair mistakes being made, so he's done what he can to try to camouflage, but again, if you would just wash your hair and start over, you would be fine. You don't need to try to cover it, just wash your hair and start over. That's all you can do. I don't even know. I don't even know what this look is supposed to be. He's got animal ears on his hat, and then it looks like he might have 2 or 3 different colors to his hair. Like, he's hiding his face because he's like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm just going to hide my face and hope people can't tell that this is me wearing this hat and this hair. Are you praying? Are you hoping that I won't talk bad about you? I'm not trying to talk bad about you. I want to rescue you. I'm trying to make a case to make sure SM never does this to you again. Actually, I'm not going to say too much bad about this. You look comfortable, and so I'm going to let this pass. We've definitely seen worse. All right, sir. You're already starting off well. You've got too many necklaces on, but I can take that. But your hair looks fairly decent. You've got your eyes covering because, again, you don't want anybody who knows you to recognize you. And you have on 1 shirt and 1 jacket, so already ahead of the game. All right. You know, there's nothing wrong with loving a good accessory. To love a good earring, an ear clip, you know, a little higher piercing. You can't have all the earrings on. You've got to choose one or the other. You can't have every single earring on, and you can't have all the necklaces. Oh my gosh. What is this? You've got on necklaces. You've got on a neck scarf. You've got on 1, 2, 3 different patterns. Your hair looks like you were going to do something with it, but then you gave up halfway through and just said, fuck it, I'm leaving. And so I'm not even sure that all this is his hair, to be quite honest with you. I feel like this might be a weave track, and then this is his real hair, because there's something going on here texturally that I don't understand. But no. No, 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 no. You deserve better. Again, you need to get in on this class action lawsuit. What? Come on, y'all. What? First of all, you got on a jersey with a belt over it. Why? Secondly, the hair. What? I don't understand. And then this jacket, did you skin a family of squirrels? Who did this to you? Who did this to you? And I love how a lot of these pictures where they know they look terrible, they got their hair over their eyes because they don't want anybody to acknowledge who it is, but who did this? Who said that this was the look? Where are you going in this? Are you going to basketball practice? Are you going to a fancy restaurant? I don't know. Where are you going? Apparently SM got mad at me because I was making fun of their faves. So I have to tone it down now because I don't want SM to keep interrupting my stream. But this picture is actually not that bad. This is actually pretty decent. It's a jacket over a hoodie, but the jacket and the hoodie are in a similar color family. So I can't really be that mad at this. But my goodness, I just don't know why. I don't know why this happened to you, but NCT, you deserve better. Why did SM do this to y'all? And SM has definitely has some classics. Like, I don't have all of the albums here to show you everything, but like, look at early Super Junior, look at early TVXQ. There have been some looks. SM has done some things, especially when it comes to like their idol's hair. SM has done some things. So, I can't even really talk that much smack about, oh, they're just getting the worst treatment because, I mean, you saw Shiny had freaking hair necklaces. But in this day and age, I just expect better, especially when you've got a group that you're trying to market all over the place. You shouldn't give them this kind of blackmail material. You shouldn't make it to where, well, I would like to buy your album, but then I saw this picture of you wearing this. So it's just like, ugh, these poor babies. But because I want to leave us all on a very pleasant tip, and I want to show you something that should make all of the second and third generation idols feel good, let me grab a little something and I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourself. All right. So a while back, I bought a bundle of like super duper old school K-pop CDs. Not because I was interested in the music necessarily, but because there was one CD in particular that I needed for my Rain collection. Rain used to be a part of a boy band a long, long time ago. And the album from that boy band is kind of difficult to get because it's so old. It's from like the mid 90s. And so in order to get that, I had to buy a whole bunch of other 2000 CDs. So let me show you a little fashion from first gen that should make all of us second or geners feel a little bit proud. So we've got this group here called Eagle 5. They're wearing hockey outfits, maybe? Let's take a look at this photo book and see what kind of fashion we could find. All right, so we've got hockey gear in the middle of a field because that's where the ice is. It's in the middle of a field. And that's usually what we do with our hockey gear. We jump up in the air because hockey is played in the sky. Hair, because that's a look. That is a look. I love how he's giving us kind of Ren vibes with like the, I could be girl or boy, whatever works for me. But then that effect is ruined by this huge jersey he's got on. And then finally, just a group shot. Let everybody know that, we're all of one accord. We've all agreed that we're going to wear the most terrible clothes possible to promote ourselves. This is a group, I don't even know if this group was popular or not, because like I said, I bought these CDs as part of a bundle to get one particular CD, but terrible times, terrible times. Next we have Eddie and Chris. I don't know who Eddie and Chris are, and honestly, I don't think they know either because they're trying to be super incognito, but let us begin. So this is Eddie and Chris's first album, and already they are too cool for school. They are superstars. They are so popular that they have to shield themselves from you even seeing them in their own photo book. I love that they are continuing the practice of cool eyewear. This looks like a transparent spoon, but you know what? That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Yes. Yes for the ginger spice hair in a blonde bob. Yes. Yes for goggles on the head plus sunglasses around the neck. Yes. Yes for the super short hair but the little stringy bangs that have been bleached blonde. Yes. Obviously this is a hip hop duet. Obviously, because they are serving you hip hop looks. All right, let us keep going. Bandanas, because we're badasses. And again, a blonde bob, because we're trying to make this work. Nothing says gangster like a chin-length bob with highlights. That is very gangster. The time spent in the beauty salon. And yeah, a final look to let you know we're badasses. Don't fuck with us. We are hip hop. Hip hop is ENC. The gems. The gems. And I shouldn't even be like this because goodness knows I was in high school during this time. If a guy had showed up at my school and this stuff, I might have hollered at him, but not today. And then lastly, we have Opa, Deathless Love. First of all, they've got my favorite 90s look. The turtleneck with a jacket over it. Like at any moment, one of them is going to bust into Boys to Men. I could just see it happening. But yeah, classy. Let's keep going here. What are we doing? What is this? Hanboks and earmuffs? Does anyone have a reason why this was a look? I mean, already the hair is bad enough. Like the hair that we're looking here is just really freaking terrible. Like it is. What? Huh? Because this is not you don't wake up in the morning with that kind of volume and lift. You don't achieve that look without a curling iron. So who did this? But then the earmuffs make a bad situation worse. It makes it look like the hair has like gathered in puffs around your ears. Next, we have the tricolor sweater, which I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I first saw this made me smile because I'm just like, I think I would have worn that jacket back when I was in high school. But yeah, no. No, that's not it. That's not it. There's a little black and white photo right there. This is it in color. I actually can get behind these outfits. These turtlenecks and hoodies, I actually find it to be charming. But what in the hell, dude? What is going on with the hair? Why were the 90s K-pop bands so obsessed with bangs? Like, why? Why? Why were bangs such a thing? Next, we have them all showing off their best hair projects. Okay, obviously this kid's hair has been cut short, but somebody left his sideburns long? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you leave his sideburns long? Of all the things. Again, he's got like some piece of blonde hair here and another piece in his hand. They're extremely crunchy and stiff, which is why he's able to actually put it in his hand instead of just like grabbing a random piece of hair. That haircut is actually pretty decent, and that haircut's not that bad either. Actually, these two, they look all right. But then this thing right here, this is curling iron, this is hairspray, this is at least a 30-minute project. No one's going out the house like that without like really carefully considering their look. And then of course the smoldering jacket and turtleneck look again with all of the worst. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that little blonde hair was that long. What? Are you like, oh my gosh, is his hair like shaved on the sides and just that one long piece? Please tell me that's like a piece that escaped from the ponytail. Do not tell me he shaved his head all but that one long skinny piece, because I die. I can't. I can't. Last picture. Everybody's kind of like, you know, group pose, show off the styles. You that can't see, get in the front. Man. The 90s were a hell of a... Okay, I know for a fact I had a teacher that had that hairstyle. You can't fool me. I know women that have had that hairstyle. I think I've had that hairstyle before. Get away from me. Get away from me. So yeah. So, you know, as bad as second gen and third gen can be, they get it honest. K-pop has always had terrible fashion. So yeah. There you go. Thank you guys so much for watching this. This was the last tag video I had to do for secret. Okay. It's not a stream unless I'm trying to say that December the 5th, which is Wednesday, is International Unboxing Day. So if you have any K-pop that you've been holding on to that you haven't filmed an unboxing for, the time to put it out there, even if it's something old, please consider doing it. It's December the year. I cannot be sure. I think this might be my fourth year, but don't quote me on that. And it is one of my favorite events in the entire year. It's something I look forward to for months in advance, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Secret Santa, and I got a lot of really cool stuff from the person who got my name. So December 5th, it's just one day. It's not all month, it's just one day. So if you got something you've been saving up for that time, bust it out on the 5th, because we don't just do it on the 5th because that's our arbitrary day that we like to use every year. We actually do it on the 5th because the 5th is Tina Davidson's birthday. And she's somebody that does attention to K-pop unboxings for a while, have all come to admire for the work that she's done. And so we try to do it on her birthday, kind of as a celebration and appreciation of what she means for the platform. But yeah, I encourage everybody to try it out. If you don't want to unbox something, do one of these tag videos. You know, like I said, I'm an editor. Otherwise, I'm up to that's what I'm proficient at. Some of you out there are. You could do and just upload. I would love to everybody because it is a really special time for me, and I don't know. I just hope that everybody will get involved. But that's all I have to say right now, and I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will talk with you guys later. Bye.